I have recently lost my job. So I decided to do the 100,000 steps challenge as a means of testing myself and doing something different and putting myself outside my comfort zone. So this is how it went.
So the plan is to go down south from the very top of London, all the way down through Hampstead and Hyde Park, Fulham and Chelsea, cross the river into Lambeth, cross the river again into the city, and then up north through Islington, Edmonton, kind of Tottenham area, Enfield, and then back up literally adjacent to the M25, and then back again into Cockfosters.
Yeah, so it's 8 in the morning, an hour later than I initially wanted, but we're on the road. Right, so you've probably clicked on this video, saw the title, you got a bit curious, right? Well, I basically lost my job because I made a mistake at work. The problem wasn't the mistake itself, it was the way I handled the mistake. I thought at the time that I was handling it the correct way. Obviously I wasn't. And then this has happened. It's just one of those things, you know. When things like this happen, you can either let them get you down and kind of start ruminating and be like, oh my god, why has this happened? Why me? What am I gonna do? Or you can just be like me and take your lessons and go and walk 100,000 steps in a day just for the fun of it. Why not? And we are 10,000 steps in 1 hour and 32 minutes. 1 hour and 32 minutes, 10,000 steps, feeling okay. Apart from a bit of a discomfort or small pain in my kind of hip groin area where the leg joins the hip. But that's just me being rusty and not really prioritizing stretching and just going all in on strength. So do your stretches if you want to avoid this. But yeah, on to the next 10K. I came into the shop, need to stock up on water and ibuprofen. We're 15,000 steps in, 16. And that pain in my groin / hip area is just not great, not a good sign to start with, but hey, we're gonna make the best of it. Ibuprofen taken. Hopefully this pain subsides. I realized that, well, I'm trying to look at it to this perspective. Obviously I've lost my job, but I think in some ways it is a blessing in disguise. Why am I saying that? Is because, to be completely honest, I can't say about the job that I was particularly thrilled or excited by it, or that, you know, it's something that I saw myself doing for the rest of my life. And I think it's good to have these kind of moments and these kind of circumstances where either you're forced, like I was, or you make a decision to pause and reflect and see if the course of action and the course of the ship is the right course and it takes you where you want to go. And I realized that it actually wasn't, and I think to an extent I was aware of that. That reflected itself in the work. So obviously it's not something that I was performing to the fullest extent of my capabilities, or, you know, it's just one thing leads to another. And life is just too short to be doing something that you don't enjoy. And yes, sometimes we have to make decisions and do things that we don't particularly enjoy because, you know, forced by circumstance. But in the long run, I think we all ought to be aware of the path that our boat or our ship is on and steer it accordingly. Which is what I'm trying to do by walking 100,000 steps in a day like a madman. Steer my ship in some way or another. you couldn't tell by the landscape and the houses, we are now in what is one of the most affluent areas of London, called Hampstead, and it is home to, well, a lot of celebrities, a lot of people with a hell of a lot of money, and it looks the part. It's actually really, really nice. Let me just turn around and show you. There we are. Hello, mate. Don't know if you can see it, but we're on 20,000 steps. Woohoo! I don't know if you can see it in the distance, but that is London. The skyscrapers over there in the distance. There. 22,000 steps and the hoodies come off. It is absolutely boiling. It's a lovely, lovely day here in London. It literally feels like it's 24 degrees. Yeah, so stop for a quick coffee refill. I don't know if you can tell, I'm hoping you can tell, but we are at, come on mate. Oh, there we are. There we are, 25,000 steps and just north for 4 hours. Really stunning. This whitewash. Right, so we've just passed a place called Swiss Cottage, which is North London, getting closer to the centre of London. I'm not entirely sure why it's called Swiss Cottage. I've always wondered, so if you know, please drop a comment below and let me know why it is called Swiss Cottage. It's just glorious. I just passed into the London Borough of Marylebone. Quite a nice area, full of shops and yeah, really nice shops and really nice cars, and quite honestly the perfect day to explore London on. Let me just turn around and show you. Full of typical London townhouses. So if you ever find yourself in a situation similar to mine, where, you know, by some chance of fate you find yourself without a job, I know that can be quite draining on people, particularly if you've got responsibilities, a family, payments, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, take it as a challenge, if you want, from the universe or whatever else you believe in, to kind of reset and refocus. And just move outside your comfort zone a little bit, because it's very uncomfortable to be without a job, obviously, but it's the perfect time to just lean fully into the fall, as it were, and just go outside your comfort zone. Do crazy stuff like walking 100,000 steps in a day, or, you know, whatever challenge you set for yourself. I believe the important thing is to set a challenge for yourself. Being without a job is a challenge. Challenge yourself even more. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this street, but it's literally full of like hotels. Let me show you. Like,
all the way there. Those are all hotels, 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 all the way there. Those are all hotels. That's actually mad.
Hyde Park. It is 1:30. Nearly 33,000 steps, a third of the way. That is beautiful. We've just gone past the third of the way mark. So a third of the way, the kind of hip growing area pulls high. Yeah. Yeah, that's the beauty of London. People just high randomly. Third of the way, the pain's kind of stopped, so I feel like I'm catching a second wind. Let's go. We've left Hyde Park and we are heading towards the London Borough of Kensington, and we are on 35,000 steps and getting close to 6 hours. I think a pace increase is in order. Now in South Kensington / Brompton area of London, and then we're gonna head, slowly make our way into Chelsea, and then Pimlico, and then cross the bridge into the South Bank. Right, just gone past the 40,000 steps mark. Stop for some snacks, stop for some fueling, for some water, energy drinks, and my legs are starting to feel it. Six hours and 45 minutes, 30 kilometers, and just sitting down for five to 10 minutes for the first time. My legs are on fire. I think we've earned it. Right, so we're getting closer to 50,000 steps, the halfway mark, and I feel like it's a great point to kind of talk about how challenges such as this are good for what I like to call perspective-itis, which is a fault in your perspective or way of seeing things. Is that sometimes when in this like frantic kind of modern world that we live in, we tend to get stuck in those patterns of thought, kind of like, what if things go wrong? What if things don't go according to plan? What if, things go wrong? What if it doesn't work out? What if it doesn't happen? What if it does? What if it does by virtue of not spending time worrying about what if it doesn't? What if it does by virtue of walking into things kind of expecting them to work out? Or just, having faith in yourself, in karma, in just the world. At the end of the day, it's all one big playground, and all we have to do in it is just play. Across the bridge into the southern part of the Thames, we are now in the London Borough of Lambeth. Quasimodo predicted all of this. Right, I don't know if you can see this. But we're at 50,000. Right, we crossed the halfway point just as the Shard came into view. Yeah, 50,000, but I am really starting to feel it now. My legs are getting a bit heavy. Right, hoodie's come back on. It's 5 o'clock and it's getting a bit chilly. And we are now near London Bridge and Borough Market. It is quite a tourist hotspot, quite busy. Right, we are now in what is called the City of London. Even though London is a city in itself, it has an area within it that is sort of like an enclave separate from the rest of the city, in the sense that it has its own police force, its own jurisdiction, and that is comprised mostly of the banks, as you can imagine. So we're now in the bank district, well, the original one apart from Canary Wharf. And yeah, as you can imagine, it's very banky, whatever the fuck that means. I think I'm delirious. We're on 53k, let's go. We are nearing the 55k mark. The pain in my groin/hip area has become more pronounced, and yeah, it's not fun. And my quads are on fire. My heels feel sore, and yeah, feeling a bit of soreness in my toes as well. Tell you what, it is getting harder and harder, and I am limping, so my pace is slower, and the pain in my hip has not gotten any better. So yeah, that's where we're at, but we'll get there. So let me show you something. That's how far I can lift my left leg, normal. This is how far I can lift my right one. Literally, I can't lift it anymore than that. I can't. So that is St. Paul's Cathedral, which once used to be the tallest building in London. There was even a law saying that you couldn't go any taller than that. Those days are long gone now. When life hits you with unexpected stuff like this, it's almost like a test. It's almost like life is kind of pushing you forward a little bit and saying, I want you to muster every single ounce of creativity, resourcefulness, and grit that you have, put them all together, sit down, think about what you want to do and have a plan, and then go ahead and execute it. It sounds a bit cliche because it's been overused maybe, but everything is a lesson, every single little thing. Even the fact that now I'm limping my way to 100k steps, even that is a lesson. What kind of lesson? I'm not too sure just yet. I think I'll have to reflect on that, but for the time being, it's it's nearly 6:30 in the afternoon, and I've still got about 40,000 steps left to do, so yeah, gotta push through. Right, so we are now moving from Chancery Lane onto King's Cross. And yeah, from King's Cross onto Angel. And from there onto North London. From North London, hopefully to the 100k mark. There we go. Yay! 60,000 steps. Ah, my feet still hurt. Stopped to get a bite. Not out of hunger, but just out of like need for sustenance, for fuel. And I think I'm a bit delirious because I had the order number 350 and I thought that was funny. 350. Yeah, delirious. Right, it is getting a little bit grim now. In terms of like, there's a slog. Yeah, where are we at? I don't want to, we're way too far behind for me to even contemplate like what's going on right now. And I feel like I'm getting a bit delirious, but gotta push ahead, you know. I had to do a bit of a change of plans with the route. Initially I was going to go through Seven Sisters, Edmonton, Enfield, but I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable filming at night in those areas, so I'd rather not tempt the fates. Instead I'm going to go through Haringey, Wood Green, that kind of area, but you'll be able to follow on the map. Just past the 70,000 steps. Man, it is something. Slow down at a snail's pace. Every step hurts. My calves are on fire. My quads are on fire. I've still got a pain in my hip/groin area. But yeah, I know it's mind over body, and I must have started to doubt myself. So I've made a promise to myself that I'm gonna carry on walking until I literally can't walk anymore. Don't know if that's healthy or not, but that's what I've said. That's what I can give up. I can give up when literally, like, you know, I'm getting pains and I can't walk anymore. Just getting to 75,000 steps now, and yeah, getting to the more leafy kind of like suburban neighborhoods of North London. I've taken my last ibuprofens for the day, and I feel that might help me kind of like push through. Don't know if you're able to see, but that's more than 80,000 steps, 12 hours and 50 minutes, nearly 4,500 calories burned. There's 20 more thousand steps left. Not sure how we're gonna fare. Not necessarily because I couldn't do it, even though my legs are absolutely on fire. It's just that pain I've been experiencing ever since basically I started in my hip kind of groin area. The range of motion on my right leg from the place where the leg kind of like connects to the hip, that range of motion is so severely limited. It's almost like stiff. It's almost like I'm carrying my right leg at the moment. I'm just focusing on putting one foot in front of the other and just yeah, like I said, focusing on putting one foot in front of the other and yeah, keep moving forwards. It's nearly 11 o'clock in the evening. I'm on 83,000 steps, and at this point, if a snail and me were to have a walking contest, the snail would probably win. I am moving incredibly slow, but I'm still moving. Still going forward, even if at less than a snail's pace. I find it funny that I've literally just tried to lift my right foot, my right leg over the curb, over a bollard, and I couldn't even do that. So I'm literally having to like walk like a sailor, like a pirate, like I've got a peg leg or something. Literally use my left leg to put it first on top of the bollard and then drag my right leg upwards. It's literally that bad. I think I'm starting to lose the plot. I just started laughing all of a sudden. I don't know why. I think I may have found my limit. Not from a mental perspective, because the mind wants to go on, but just from a purely physical perspective, I think my body's just beat. So I think I might have to call it a little bit earlier than 100k. I've literally just sat on my couch and oh my god, I've never been this tired in my entire life. I didn't make it to 100k. I made it to like 86, I want to say 87, I think 87. I've not even taken my shoes off. I've actually taken like one shoe off and I've still not taken the other. So I guess I'm gonna, I'll see you guys later. So as you can tell at the end there, I did not make it to 100,000 steps. However, I am still proud of what I achieved. The whole purpose of this was to push myself outside of my comfort zone, to go for as long as I can. Yeah, just really kind of prove something to myself that I've got the grit inside of me. I've got the resilience to push ahead. Obviously, I would have liked to get to 100,000 steps because it's a nice round number, and the challenge itself is the 100,000 steps challenge. However, having said that, and as you're going to be able to see on the screen, so I did. Where are the bloody steps, mate? Oh, there we are. I did 87,626 steps. That meant that I did 60.97 kilometers. It took me 14 hours and 1 second, and I burned something like 4,820 calories. Now, there's a couple of factors that influence this as well. So obviously, the first one being the pain that I experienced in my groin area from the very start. That was not good, and it kind of did not allow me to go even further. But I did learn a few lessons. So if you want to take this challenge on, number one is really think whether you should start with a 100,000 steps challenge. The reason for that is because it is quite a tough challenge, and if you're someone who has not been exercising and someone who's not been doing a lot of physical kind of work, then I would recommend you potentially considering whether 100k steps is the right goal for yourself, and maybe think about starting with 50,000 steps or 60,000 steps or anything that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. Number two would be start early. Start at 6 a.m. I would say you have to start at 6 a.m. because it is going to take a long time when you factor in breaks and refuels and even sitting down every now and again. So you have to start at 6 a.m. Don't do what I did and don't start at 8 a.m. Number three, stock yourself up. Really, have plenty of snacks in your bag. So things like sugars, carbs, protein, fruit, protein bars, nut bars, anything that you can eat on the go, even sandwiches or anything like that. Anything that you can eat on the go is going to be really useful, and you stocking yourself up on those things beforehand will cut down on the times that you have to stop and get food from somewhere else, and will prevent you kind of sitting down somewhere and thinking, oh my god, this is so hard, I don't want to carry on. So it's going to eliminate that sort of potential. So stock yourself up with food, sustenance, and obviously liquids as well. So water, energy drinks if you want them, coffee, and then also electrolytes. Very important. And number four would be, just have fun. Just push yourself beyond your limit and see how far you can go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.